Hello everyone, welcome to Sir Rob's Math Lab. Now today we want to look at this question. Here we have x is equal to 0.2, the 2 is recurring, y is equal to 0.681, the 81 is recurring. Now the question is asking us to work out the value of xy. Give your answer as a fraction in its simplest form. So let's go. For this question, the first thing we need to do is to convert these recurring decimals to fractions. So that's the first thing we need to do. So let's go ahead and convert x. X is equal to 0.2, and as you know, the 2 is recurring. Now, when we are converting a recurring decimal to a fraction, we need the decimal point immediately before the first recurring digit and immediately after the last recurring digit. In this case, the 2 is recurring. So we need the decimal point immediately before the 2, and we need it immediately after the 2. For this one, the decimal point is already in front of the 2 right here. So what we need to do now is to get the decimal point immediately after. Now to get that done, we need to times this equation here by 10. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to have 10x is equal to 2.2. And you know the 2 would be recurring. Now our aim is to get rid of the recurring part, all right? In other words, the recurring digits. So let's go ahead and do that. Now to get rid of it, we need to subtract so that we can eliminate the recurring part. So let's go ahead and subtract x from the 10x. We know that x is the same thing as 0.2. Now 10x minus x, that's going to give us 9x, which is equal to 2.2 minus 0.2. We're left with 2. As you can see, this recurring part, eliminate that recurring part. So it is 2 right there. Now let's go ahead and solve for x. To solve for x, we're going to divide both sides of the equation by 9. So divide by 9. 9 cancels the 9. So x is equal to 2 over 9. So there you go. If you convert 0.2 recurring to a fraction, you would get 2 over 9. So let's go ahead and go to the next part, which is y. So we know that y is equal to 0.681, and the 81 is recurring. So we're going to take the same approach. We need the decimal point immediately before the first recurring digit. In this case, we need the decimal point immediately before this 8. So we're going to times this equation here by 10. So we're going to have 10y is equal to 6.81. And you know the 81 is recurring. Now that we have the decimal point immediately before the first recurring digit, we need the decimal point immediately after the last recurring digit as well. So we're looking at the general equation just the same, yeah? The initial equation that was given. So here, in order to get the decimal point immediately after the last recurring digit, in this case, it would be after the 1. We would need to multiply this equation here by 1,000. So if you multiply by 1,000, we get 1,000y is equal to 681.81. You know the 81 is recurring. So remember now, our aim is to get rid of the recurring part. So if we go ahead and subtract these two equations, we subtract these two equations here, we would eliminate the recurring part. So let's go ahead and do that. So 1,000y minus 10y. We know that 10y is the same thing as 6.81. So let's go ahead and subtract them. So 1,000y minus 10y, that's 990y, which is equal to 681.81. Subtract 6.81, you're left with 675. All right, so you're left with 675. Now we need to solve for y. To solve for y, we're going to divide both sides of the equation by 990. Divide by 990. 990 cancels with 990, so you're left with y equals 675 divided by 990. All right. Now that we know what y is as a fraction, we know what x is as a fraction, we can go ahead and multiply them because they ask us for xy. So xy, is going to be equal to 2/9 times y, which is 675 over 990. All right, and we can go ahead and work that out. So let's go ahead and work it out. So here we have 2/9. It's 2/9 times 675. 675 over 990. All right, and there we get 5 over 33. So there you have our answer, 5 over 33. So xy is equal to 5 over 33. Okay, thank you very much for watching.